Hello everyone, I just wanted to review before we work on this project, or actually I was thinking about that you could refer to this video as you go through it. So this activity is supposed to review the base pairing. So we have our G and our C and our A, which is really difficult to see, and our T. So these bases must go together. It was Chargaff who came to that, figuring out and noticing that the base pairs, the same amount existed of G's and C's and A's and T's, meaning they must pair up together. So what happens for DNA replication is there will be an enzyme that will come through and break these bonds apart. And the bonds here are hydrogen bonds, and you can see the difference in the number of hydrogen bonds. Adenine and thymine only have 2, while guanine and cytosine only have 3. So what happens is this helicase enzyme will come through and split the hydrogen bonds. And remember, enzymes help speed up chemical reactions, help break bonds, make bonds. So its first job really is to then break those bonds. So now that it's unzipped, there's other enzymes that will come through. The enzyme that comes through and helps add on bases is our DNA polymerase. And it will just come through and add these additional bases. Now, some people have asked, where are they? Your cell has a lot of extra material around to help build these, and DNA is in everything. So when you eat a banana, you are eating DNA. So you can break those down and reuse those bases and those phosphates and those sugars. So it's going to start breaking these apart and adding. And I'm not going to do this whole entire process with our DNA, just so you get the general gist of this. So it has now come through. DNA polymerase has added on some of these bases, and it will continue on. What then is added would be our sugar and our phosphate, which is supposed to represent the gray strand. And then the other one will be added on to the other strand. That is DNA replication. This occurs a lot if you think about it. Mitosis, you need more DNA for your new cells. You're going to need more DNA as you grow in those cells. So this is the whole process of DNA replication. Now notice, this was my old strand. This was my new strand. Same thing here is old strand and new strand. So you have 2 old strands and 2 new ones are built on that. That is important to know. Another thing just to review is a nucleotide. A nucleotide is a nitrogen base. We don't have them on here, but this is supposed to represent our phosphate and our sugar. So that was what makes up each nucleotide. So this is a nucleotide. This is a nucleotide. Those are the 3 foundational pieces for our DNA, and they've just named those, categorized those as nucleotide. Okay, have fun creating your DNA, splitting it, and replicating.